In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about Fibonacci clusters. Here we have Abbott Labs, and I'm going to show you three things that you can do, pairing extensions, retracements, and projections together so that you can figure out when and where you want to get into a stock or an underlying. So let's start first with our retracement. We're going to go from high to low. Now, the major retracements are always going to have more importance than the minor ones. Bear that in mind. So here we've just made our first retracement. Now let's do a projection. So we're going to go from low A to B, down to C, and you can see that this 161.8 coincides with this topping formation which is happening on Abbott. It also coincides with the 38.2. So now we have two indicators that there could be some resistance at this level. Let's get rid of this extraneous numbers. Now I've zoomed in a bit and we still have our retracement up to the 38.2, which is happening now, and we also have our 161.8 projection going from this A to B to C down here. Let's do another retracement. So it doesn't look like we have anything at first, but at the moment I don't have the 78.6 turned on. So let's turn that on and see if it adds to the cluster. Okay, so the 78.6 coincides well with this grouping right here. So we're starting to see that we have a lot of different indicators and different levels pointing that this 44 is going to be a solid resistance point. Now, what can you do here? Well, if you think that this is the top, and you can see by this almost doji happening here, and the spinning top beforehand, you can go in and you can short. So now would be a possible good time to come in and take a look at the options and say, I want to take a month-long option and I'm going to look at the buying a put debit spread. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, make sure to take the Introduction to Options course where I go over all of this and teach you how to trade options correctly. So we would take a look at the 44, maybe a 44, 43 debit spread, and we can go back to the charts. We could even take a retracement here and see that the 61.8 retracement is around 40, and that would give us a good guide to come in here and buy a vertical spread going from 44 down to 40. So now we have a price target of 40, starting at 44. It's a $4 wide spread that's going to cost us 98 cents. So our total profit that we can make from this would be about $3.02. Here's AIG, and let's do a retracement on the big swing, going from high to low. And you can see that the 61.8 is where the underlying for AIG is right now. Next, let's do a extension going from the Black Monday low to the high here and coming back down. Well, it doesn't seem to be anything there, but we can leave this here just for reference. But you can see that this resistance level where AIG right is now would also be the 100% retracement going from here to here. So there is some sort of resistance, seeing how prior resistance is still going to be prior resistance, and there's also some support here as well too. Prior support becoming new resistance. So this would be a good time possibly to come in and short AIG. So here's the S&P futures, and what I'm looking at today is there has been a lot of consolidation. I think there's going to be a nice big up move today, and so let's take a look at the previous up move. We're going to zoom in a bit. So here's the S&P futures on an hourly chart, and this is something that we trade quite a lot here at Traders Insight for futures. Now, there's been a lot of consolidation on this big upward move that we've had in the S&P over the past few weeks. And if I have a prediction that the S&P is going to keep on going with this bullish move upwards, what I can do is a few things. First, we can start by lowering this down a bit, and we're going to zoom in as well too, just to here. So we're just going to zoom into here. And the first thing that we can do is do a projection of the last move. So we can go from where it started to where it ended, and then bring it over here. Okay, you're not going to be able to see it right now, but it is there. Next, let's just bring it down. Let's just make everything a little bit. Okay, so we have a first target of 2104. Bring this down even more so you can see it. Next, we're going to take a retracement, and we're going to go from this high to this low. And we have the 261.8 as well too, which is now starting to coincide. So let's click off all these and change the color. When you're doing clusters, it helps that you color code everything so you can see the difference in all of the clusters. Next, we can try an extension from here. There's not really anything. We can try an extension from here to that move. So it seems if we're going to have a move, I mean, that's a really big move. That's 50 points that we're seeing consolidation on. But then again, the last move that we had was going from 2015 up to 2074. So we're getting quite close to reaching new highs if we keep on pushing up and hitting that 100 level. Now let's take a look if I have a bearish perspective and see if we can find any clusters. So let's open this up again, and let's take a retracement of the swing high, or sorry, the swing low, swing high, and let's take an extension from here. Doesn't seem to be anything. When there's a lot of consolidation, it's tough because you don't really know which way the market's going to move. Let's zoom out a bit and see if we had... well, this 61.8 actually looks pretty good if there's going to be a downward move. It'll probably come down to 2030 because you can see that previous resistance was trying to push up through this 2030 level over and over and over again, about 4 times. And it finally was able to come down and then be pushed pretty violently through up into the 2060 range. So if this was going to break down, my first target for price would be about 30 points lower at this 2030 level. Now here's gold, and let's take a look at a big retracement from gold. Right now it's trading at 1165. It's come down from its highs of 1191. So the big move says that it could come down. It actually did come down and touch this 38.2. Right now it's starting to flatten out a bit, and we'll see what happens. There's been quite a lot of movement up and down for the past few days, but the volatility has been quite low. So here's the Japanese futures, and let's take a look at this and see if we can find any cluster or price targets. So here's the big swing high to swing low. Let's take the next swing high to swing low. Okay, so we found a... And it always helps to click these off for the ones that you're not using. I'm going to do that right now. And there we go, got the right one. Let's take this one away, take this one away, and take this one away. So it's a little bit easier to see. From here we can do an extension from here. And it looks like that 161.8 is looking pretty good. Make this red. Okay. So we're starting to get a cluster here. We also have previous resistance, which was here as well too, at the 0.0083 level. And we also have previous resistance, previous support here, 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 and here. So there was a lot of support when this was coming back down a few weeks ago. Now that it's pushed up, it's come back down and it's trying to push through that level again. So this is going to be an important level around here. And we have the Fibonacci cluster to back that up as well too. So what I would take from this cluster is if it's going to make a reversal, it's going to make a big reversal. And it's going to come back down much farther. And we could use our 127 to figure out how far it's actually going to come back down. Or if it pushes back through, you know, we can use a few things. If it pushes through this level, it probably would be a good time to come in and buy, as the trend would be reversing, and I'd be looking to get in up to that 127 level, which was also the previous support here and previous resistance here. So it looks to be that would be my game plan going forward with the yen in this case. You're not always going to be able to find these clusters, but sometimes they just appear, and you'll get 6 or 7 of them. And the more you get, the more weight you should give to that price level. Either there's going to be some sort of reversal there, or it should be your price target if you're already into that trade, giving you your exit for the trade. If you have any questions about grouping, make sure to ask in the discussion, and I'll be happy to sit down with you, and we can go over it in Skype if you want to have some more practice. Additionally, don't forget to leave some feedback and leave a review if you like this course. Next, I'll teach you the secret about dips and how you can use the Fibonaccis to determine the strength of the market.